guys, Kittykatlapurr here, and today I'm going to show you exactly where to get sap and how to get sap on the Scorched Earth map. Yay! So sap seems to be a very rare and hard find to find on Scorched Earth, so I thought I'd show you guys how to get sap and a couple places where it's a little easier to find some. But first off, I want to say a great big thank you to all my current subscribers. You guys are amazing and I seriously couldn't do it without you. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button for pro-ish art content. And if you do like what I provide for you today, feel free to hit that like button. And guys, I'm aiming for the big 20,000 this year, so help me go big or go home and you all get a cookie. Yay! So I was out and about looking for Joshua trees because that's the tree that you want to get sap from. These furry trees are the ones that you want to get your sap. And as I was going around tearing down trees and not yielding any sap, I actually tried to look for differences in the trees that I was getting sap in and the trees that I was not. And one thing I noticed is the darker the Joshua tree, so the furry part, is the one that I found sap in versus a lighter one. I was using only a chainsaw because I was trying to find some. And as we can see here, if I try to take down this tree, I'm not getting any sap. And this is the lighter one that I'm looking at. But then I went to a darker one and I'm yielding some sap. So I think there's an actual trick to trying to find sap from the trees. So again, this one looks a little bit darker versus the one that is right beside, which is a little bit lighter. I'm not sure if it's really easy to tell or not, but this one should have some sap, which I am getting, and this one should not have any sap, which I did not get any from that one. So I think there is a little trick to finding sap here on Scorched Earth. My current location for these Joshua trees here is 58.7, 42.5, but Joshua trees can be found kind of all over the map. So I'm going to show you guys a couple other places, and we're going to use different tools with the trick that I just found out to see if we actually yield any sap with the tools. So the Badlands is another place where you can find a ton of Joshua trees. And as you can see here, this one looks a little darker than that one. And I'm going to try a pick this time because you can apparently get sap from just using a pick. So let's see if it works. And I'm getting sap with my pick. Just one sap, but it's still something. But this lighter-ish tree, we shouldn't get any, which we didn't. Now, it would be a little bit crazy to bring your moss chops over here into the Badlands. But let's try it out. If you get yourself a moss chops and level him up, and then also level him up in sap harvesting capability, you should be able to get sap from the Joshua trees, and hopefully a lot of it. So right now I have about 31 levels into sap, and let's see if he'll get me any from either one of these trees. So if my eyesight is correct, this is the lighter of the trees, and I did not get any sap. This is the darker one of the trees, and I did not get any of the sap. I find I've been using the moss chops and have been going through a lot of Joshua tree like bunches, and I haven't been collecting very much sap. So I don't know if it's something with the moss chops or what, but I would say personally get yourself a chainsaw right away versus using a moss chops. I like the chainsaw, so I like to have it on me at all times, but I guess it's a personal preference. My current location here in the Badlands, but you can find Joshua trees all throughout it, is 53.5, 73.4. And another one of my favorite spots because I live close to it is over here on the edge of the river. These little natural bridges carry a lot of Joshua trees. I did kind of tear apart this one, so there is none, but there is a couple here that I wanted to show you. My current location is 24.6, 50.5. And as you can see here, I have a couple Joshua trees left over. And this one, because it's darker, yields sap. And this one doesn't seem to be yielding any. So I'm going to assume that this one is going to yield some. And it does. Now, one last test I wanted to try was to get an one of those bird things that climb the redwood trees in the redwood on the island, but also they can, if you put them on wander around Joshua trees, they should yield you some sap as well. So I got one right here. I don't know how to say his name, and he's been on wander for about an hour now. But I always find these guys pretty buggy. So let's see. He did not get me any sap. So unfortunately, I wouldn't say these guys are the best way to do it unless you have days and days to wait for him. And hopefully he doesn't die in the time being. And I gave him a nice long area of Joshua trees to go and harvest some sap from. But he doesn't seem to be working. So guys, other than drops perhaps, I thought I'd show you guys some tips and tricks and ways to get sap here on Scorched Earth. And if you guys have any tips, why not leave them down in the comments below? If you did like what I provided for you today, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new here, why not subscribe? I hope you all have a super, duper magical day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.